Welcome back to News Geelong and Geelong Sport with the Flying Hawk, Nathan Curry. Good evening, Nathan.
Thank you very much, Rollo. Well, we'll kick off sport tonight with our man of the Geelong and District Football League, Cal Lowther, who caught up with Bellpost Hill coach Brett Gurgic after his side's win over Winchelsea on Saturday.
Obviously started a little bit slow, but got to your straps as the game wore on and ended up really giving them a good belting.
Yeah, as I said just before, they're a pretty good team. Got some really good players, Charleston, Leake, and as I said, the ruckman, and some good forwards as well, and some big strong backs. So we knew we were in for a tight game. We thought on early. Obviously, they were on pretty good in the first quarter, and I think more probably credit to our guys the way our guys pressure around the ball and that sort of thing, and it probably got blown out a little bit at the end. I didn't even notice how much we won by, but I think it probably flattened us a bit in the end.
Obviously, Shane Tobin played a great game today, and Dave Holzvon as well. You've got a really good couple of set of small crumbing forwards now. Yeah,
they're handy. Like Toe's kicked a few goals, and it's good to be able to put Halsey forward, who can obviously give us a bit of speed down there because they're not really a quick team. So, and Tobes isn't really that quick either, but he's a pretty smart player and he gets to the right sort of spots. So yeah, pretty handy for us today.
Can you tell us a little bit about Chris Moore? Obviously, Brad Martin pulled out just before the start of the season, and Chris Morland's been stated as captain. Did you have any role in the choice of that, and how did it come about? And just talk a little bit about that for us.
Well, if it was up to me, it probably would have been Chris, definitely. But I put it to the players as well, and they had a bit of a vote. And I just wanted to get an idea what they were thinking, and they pretty much all voted for him as well. So it was pretty much a standout in the end. And obviously he's still a young bloke, and he's a really good leader. He's probably our best trainer, or probably he's definitely our best trainer. He's either doing weights or he's running or he's training so hard, and he's off the track he's a really good leader, and on the track as well. So there was pretty much no other decision really in the end.
Yep. And just finally on your game plan, you haven't seemed to change anything at all. You've sort of just replicated the same thing. Sides seem to struggle with the way that you just chip the ball around and find options inside 50. Does it stagger you that your game plan just continues to be so successful?
Yeah, I think people might read into a bit in our game plan so much. I think we try not to turn the footy over. So I suppose if that's a game plan, it's a game plan. But we're just big on not kicking it to turnovers, basically. So yeah, the less we turn it over and the more we keep it in our hands, obviously the better. So it seems to be working at the moment, but obviously we're going to get challenged during the year, and we may have to change it up and try something different. But we'll meet that when we get there.
Yeah. You're looking forward to playing a game on Sunday against Bannockburn next week?
Yeah, definitely. I've heard it's going to be a pretty big day. A lot of people out there, and it might be a bit of a finals type atmosphere. So it'd be good for the boys to play in a big game and big crowd. And Bannockburn obviously a pretty good team too. So it's going to be a big challenge for us.
Thanks for your time, Cal and Brett. Well, everyone's talking about Geelong's big clash with Collingwood at the G tonight, and my spies tell me Collingwood's mascot was down at Skilled Stadium this week to check out what's been happening down at the Cattery. And News Geelong caught up with Geelong Cats coach Chris Scott before the big clash. Now, Scotty, Geelong scored the most points last year, but this year they've had the least points scored against them. Does that reflect your style of coaching?
I'm not sure about that. Certainly, I have a bias towards defence, so we're pleased with those numbers. But it's a pretty small sample size as well. 6 games, a really defensive game, round 1 against St Kilda, and a really wet game against Sydney. So I think we've got to wait a little bit longer before we jump to any conclusions.
Do you think the players that played in the preliminary final of last year see it as an aberration rather than bad form?
Mate, I sense it a little bit. That's probably the best way to describe it. There's nothing tangible. They are a highly competitive group. I've worked that out pretty quickly. I've seen it in the early rounds. I find it hard to believe that they could lift any more for this game. I think their intensity is always pretty good and at the level we expect. But look, we can't escape the fact it's going to be a terrific contest and a huge challenge for us, and the boys can't wait.
Do you get a feeling that players really burn when they lose?
I think losing burns for them all the time. How many games have they lost the last couple of years, Kev? 8 or 10 or 14 out of 100, whatever it is. They're not used to losing and they hate it, which is the hallmark of every great competitor. So yes, I think any side that beats them, they're keen to reverse that.
Finally, Chris, do you think Collingwood can be stopped by this Geelong team?
Full credit to the Geelong teams of the past. I mean, I was part of a coaching group that was trying to implement a game style that would work against them. Most sides seem to be going down a similar path to Collingwood at the moment. So the challenge is for us is to evolve even further. We think we've adapted a little bit, but again, we're not playing the type of football that we hope to be playing in 3 or 4 months' time. We want to improve more than we have so far.
Thanks for your time, Scotty, and good luck to you and your boys tonight in your big clash with Collingwood. Well, before we wrap up tonight, we were down at the Geelong Falcons to catch up with their fullback, Andrew Bosley, who was best of field last week against the Eastern Rangers. You went down to the Eastern Rangers on the weekend. How did you view the match?
It was pretty close, I reckon, than what the scoreboard showed. I could beat them in possessions, tackles, turnovers were pretty similar. So I think we just broke down a bit in the forward line, so hopefully we can better that next week.
You went quite well yourself, a best on ground performance and a nice hanger. How have you viewed your season?
I'm pretty happy with my start. Obviously there's a few things I need to improve on, but so far so good.
You've got a match at Skilled Stadium this week. I bet you're happy to finally have a home game. What's the feeling like amongst the boys about playing on Skilled Stadium?
Yeah, it's a really good feeling. You get a lot of your mates down, especially on a Sunday, so all the boys are really looking forward to it and hopefully we can chalk up a win.
You're taking on Bendigo, they're third last. Will that give you a good opportunity to get a bit of confidence among the boys?
I hope so, but you can't really underestimate them. Hopefully we can get the win, but yeah, we'll see how we go.
Will there be any players that could come back into the side this week?
Possibly. Aaron Goose always throwing in a couple of changes, but have to find out tonight, I suppose.
Now, while we've got you here, what's your journey so far? You're a 19-year-old. Have you played Falcons for 3 seasons now?
Last year was my first ever year. Played 6 games, then just went back to my local club. So this is my second year here, which I'm really enjoying.
What have you worked on over the off-season to make sure you got one of those 19-year-old spots?
Probably just put on a little bit more weight, I suppose. That's probably the thing I've always had to improve on, and just being more loud and confident, I suppose.
Yeah, and that's really helped your game?
Yeah, for sure. Matching up against the guys that are weighing like 95 kilos has really helped me a little bit.
Thanks for your time, Andrew. Good luck to you and your mates on Sunday when you take on Bendigo, and hopefully you can take another big hanger. Well, that's it for me. I'll be back on Wednesday night, but until then, it's back to you, Rollo.
Thank you, Nathan. And now to the Geelong weather. It's a very good evening to sparkling Lani Salathiel on location at the Highton Primary School. Good evening, Lani.
Thanks, Graham. I'm down here at Highton Primary School with 5-6 GK for the weather today. And we've got a little bit of a theme going on today with all the students working on short films at the moment. And I have the school captain here with me, Debbie. So, Debbie, can you tell me a little bit about the project you're working on today?
Well, we sent in a short film for a grant, a Penguin Borough grant, and it inspired us to do some work on our own short films.
Yeah.
So we've been working on them as a little project,
Excellent. And what sort of films are you making? Like, what are they based on?
Just creating our own little thing. We're just basing our own little story.
Yeah. What's your story on?
We're doing a kind of comic claymation thing.
Oh, on little clay figures. Does he have a name?
Crazy dude.
Crazy dude. Did you get a close-up of that little crazy dude? Anyway, let's take a look at the weather for the next 5 days and see what's in store. It's going to be pretty cold, I think. For the weekend, Saturday, a cloudy day with some isolated showers and gusty near the coast. For Sunday, a top of 15, a shower or two around, clearing later in the day. For the start of next week, Monday, a partly cloudy day and the chance of light showers in Geelong also. For Tuesday, a top of 16, a cloudy day again and the chance of possible light showers again in Geelong. For Wednesday, a sunny day, finally warming up just a tad to 17. And today we had a cloudy day, some scattered showers around, possible hail around later as well. We had a minimum of 8 and a maximum of 16. So that's the weather from Highton Primary School with all these lovely kids down here. And thanks to Debbie for telling us about their project today. So Graham, that's back to you for the weather at News Geelong!
Thank you, Lani, and thank you to the students of Highton Primary School. Well done. And thank you for being with us on News Geelong. To my old friend Craig, the French polisher extraordinaire. Remember, take your time and smell the flowers. From all the team at News Geelong, have a pleasant evening a safe and enjoyable weekend and a very good night.